so many crazy things happened. Stuff you can't talk about in the papers, do you know what I mean? Like, I just lost a sense of reality. Alex, I'm scared.
Sat in the passenger seat next to me in a moment will be one of the biggest pop stars on the planet. His music's been streamed over 2 billion times on Spotify alone. He's had 5 #1 albums and 4 massive #1 singles. And to top it off, he's also a huge TV star. Yet, despite all of that, Olly Murs is a completely normal bloke. A humble man with a wicked sense of humour from Whitham in Essex. In this episode of Show on the Road, Olly takes us on a tour of his hometown, showing us the places where he cut his teeth in life. Brought to you by Auto Trader, the UK's largest automotive platform. This is Show on the Road. I'm Alex Legui, driving a Bentley Continental GT into the car park of Witham Town Football Club, and there is one of their former players, Mr. Olly Murs.
Oh my God, that's a nice car.
How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks, yeah.
Good.
Welcome to Whitham.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to be here.
Welcome to my hometown.
Well, from what I've seen, I like your hometown.
It's not bad, you know, like any town, you know, it has its good places, has its bad places, but it's where I grew up, it's where I know, it's home for me, so yeah, even just being here just feels good, you know.
Should we get going?
Let's go. Know that you can change. Love you guys. We're in. Can you hear us?
So we can thank your knee injury for you becoming a singer then. Tell us more about what happened with your ACL.
I was playing football and I planted my left leg. And there was no one around me, and as I planted my left leg, it snapped behind me.
Did you hear it snap?
I felt it crack, yeah. I didn't really understand what it was. And I didn't realise at the time that was one of the most pivotal moments in my life.
That was the sliding doors
That was
moment.
the kind of sliding doors
Sliding ACL.
moment for me. What happened is it led me to the pub. It led me to singing in pubs, drinking, socialising with my mates. I saw a karaoke machine one night in the George in Whitham. There was a karaoke machine.
What was your karaoke song?
Well, I used to do impressions.
Okay.
So I used to just sing, like, I used to just do impressions of people. So I'd be like Frank Sinatra, My Way. Or,
Go on then.
Now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain.
Oh, yeah.
And then I would do like, I would do like a bit of Elvis Presley. So I'd be like, I'm all shook up, hey,
Olly!
I'm all shaking and my knees are weak. I used to do all that. So what it was a lot of elderly people in the pub, and so I used to just take requests and have a bit of fun. And then I would sing a couple of songs, like, you know, normally. And all my mates were like, wow, like, never seen this in you before, like, you know, you're actually a good singer. I was like, really? And that all come from my youth, and that all come from like growing up.
Right.
That's the shop where Mark used to own. That's the shop.
No.
Yeah.
Where you first worked?
That's where I used to work, yeah.
Old family home. What age were you when you were here then?
From when I can remember, really. From probably, yeah. I would say my mum and dad had us here when we were pretty much babies. It's an estate. You know, this is a council estate. This is where I used to grow up. I don't know if they're council houses now, but when we was younger.
Oh, wow.
So many amazing memories here. And there's a little, it's called Pit Green just over here, where I think now there's a sign saying no balls allowed, but we used to just play football there all the time, and we had loads of friends around here. Neighbours would be, we wouldn't necessarily have a great relationship with all our neighbours, but there would be a feel that everyone was just enjoying themselves. Yes. And there was a real, like, doors were open, back door gates were open, you know what I mean? It was a real, like, fun place to be. And it's a lot greener than it used to be. Like, a lot more trees have been planted. But great times. Like, my life growing up was brilliant. Like, when I look back, you know, we were like rascals. We were so, we were full of like...
Why does that not surprise me?
We were full of like sugar, drinking fizzy drinks, chocolate bars. We were like 100 miles an hour. We were like Tasmanian devils. Like how my mum and dad, now being a parent myself, how my mum and dad actually coped with 2 twin boys and a sister 18 months apart.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
I was going to say, your sister Faye, what's your relationship like with her?
Amazing. She's great. She's a live wire. Not a day goes by she doesn't make me laugh, and then not a day goes by where she's just got some story to tell about something. She's just, she's brilliant. She's an amazing mum, amazing sister, I think there's been times in our lives where I think my sister's been my big sister, and then there's been times in my life where I've kind of been the big brother in a way. We've been there for each other through the highs and lows of life.
Your dad, Pete?
Yes,
right?
My dad, Pete, yeah.
He was a tool maker.
Mm-hmm.
What is a tool maker?
Well, he makes tools.
That's what it says on the tin.
My dad would obviously explain this a lot better than me, so do bear with, but he's an engineer, so he would make specific tools for specific people that are quite bespoke.
Oh, wow.
So it wouldn't be like he makes screwdrivers and things like that. These would be very specific details of things that you might need for, I'm guessing, like a car might need a specific part. He's been doing it a long time. I think he enjoys he's got real steady hands. Like he's really,
I bet
good
he
at like
does.
little doing anything. We used to play games. We'd play games as a family. He's really good at anything you've got to hold still. His hands are like, he's really good at stuff like that. So,
what parts of his personality do you feel like you've taken?
My dad's.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one. I think my dad I've definitely taken. It's hard to explain. My dad has got a great sense of humour, but he can also be really quite grumpy. But I'd say the biggest thing I've taken from my dad is music.
Right.
Like, my dad would play David Bowie every week, to Queen, to Elton John, to Morrissey, to the Smiths.
All the greats.
To you name it, he was playing it. And it was just like, now, when I look back, I think, wow, I was just educated with just amazing music throughout my whole life.
Yeah. Didn't your mum used to work at a Little Chef?
She did. We just drove past where it was, actually.
Right.
Where that. So when we were talking then, obviously there was a Pulse and Cocktails, obviously adult superstore. That used to be my mum, where my mum used to work, at Little Chef.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's where she used to work. So when we were growing up, my parents had to, make ends meet, and so they did different jobs. My mum worked in Little Chef for quite some time.
What memories do you have of going there?
I just remember the lollies. My mum and dad at Christmas, my mum used to always bring back, I always remember it at Christmas, these sugary, they must have been full of sugar. But these, well, they are anyway, lollies, but these ones were like coated in it. But my mum used to always bring back these Little Chef lollies. We'd have like stacks full of them in the house. But no, for us growing up, my mum was in Little Chef. We didn't go there that often, to be honest with you, but I just remember my mum not always being there in the evening sometimes, or some days at weekend she'd be away. But it was all because, they needed to pay the bills.
We had quite a random request from you, because we do a car snack section, and down in the door are some snacks, and I wanted you to explain what you've got in your hand and why.
Okay, so as you can probably tell, I've got loads of rustling noises, and I'm now showing you guys on camera sweets. Pick and mix sweets.
Specifically, what have we got there?
We've got shrimps and bananas, we've got milk bottles, we've got mini mushrooms, we've got Coca-Cola bottles.
They are like the most iconic
like
pick and mix
proper
sweets,
pick and mix sweets, yeah. Now the reason I picked them is because for anyone that knows me, properly knows me, I mean like mates, close friends and family, is when I was driving my Fiat, I used to love sweets. Now we used to do a car school at football. It's called a car school.
Right.
And what it is, just that's the name of it. And every football match would go away, or even home games, I'd pick the lads up, and I used to always have a box of sweets because footballers, we'd always want to get sugar in us before a game and get the energy up. So I used to just have a bag of sweets in literally in the glove compartment. All the lads would jump in. They'd go, Murs, where's the sweets? You know where they are, boys. They'd open them up and we would just eat. They'd eat all my sweets, and I used to just top it up all the time. And so, even to this day, some of my mates will get in the car and they'll be like, do you remember the days you used to have your little sweet box?
So you still have a sweet tooth now?
Oh my God, so bad.
How
When I told you before I got in the car, I'm on a fast today.
Yeah.
I'm fasting. Hence why I can't even open them sweets. I'm desperate to. Oh my God, you're going to come up. I hate these things.
Flipping Nora. So we're about to go through one of those narrowing.
I hate this. I have curved my wheel. Every time I come this way, I've always curved my wheels.
And I'm driving an almighty, gorgeous Continental.
What would you call this? Oh my Lord, no. Oh God, Alex.
The pressure! Woo!
Yes! Smash that. Oh my God, you nailed that.
So we're on our way to Braintree next.
Wow, you're taking me to Braintree.
Uh-huh.
So Braintree was a massive part of my life because I started, this was the whole of the best parts of my youth was spent here. So from the age of about 12 to about 19. I literally did everything here. You know, I tried alcohol for the first time and, you know, all them sort of mad things you do as a kid growing up.
Didn't you love drama at school?
Loved it.
What stopped you going down that route?
So went to Notley High School, and so the subjects that I excelled in during school was English language, which was talking, obviously, sport. I loved doing sport, and I also absolutely loved performing arts. I absolutely loved it. Obviously, at the time, I didn't realise I'd end up be doing it as a full-time job, singing and performing. And my drama teacher, David Lee Allen, absolutely loved me and was like, Ollie, we're going to do this, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. When you do this play, da, 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 da. Nowadays, I don't know if it's the same, but back then, for my GCSEs, I had to pick the subjects I wanted.
Yes.
So I ended up picking sport, and I'll never forget David Lee Allen collaring me in the corridor, just going, Ollie, what have you done?
Wow.
Like, this, you're built to do it, you should do it. And I was like, nah, sorry, mate. Football's my thing. I want to do sport.
Wow.
And I don't think he ever spoke to me after that. I think he was genuinely like gutted. And also remember back then, it was like frowned upon in like my mates.
100%.
My mates. If I'd have said to my mates at the time, lads, I'm doing performing arts over sport, they'd been like, are you what?
You'd have been so big, wouldn't you?
I was really afraid of making that decision. I was like, oh my God, like my mates might not like me and they might think this and might think that, and I don't want to do that. And that's just the way it was back then.
So you didn't end up doing drama, but you ended up becoming an enormous pop star, which then also led you, for a little bit at least, to end up co-owning Coggeshall?
I love when people try to
Coggeshall?
Coggeshall. Coggeshall. Coggeshall for me, or Coggeshall, was a passion project. Now, obviously, we've been talking about my life from the early days, and then my life, obviously, we haven't really touched on, obviously, everyone knows my career on X Factor, whatever. But then I was going through a bit of a crazy period in my life for a bit of a while where I just lost a sense of reality of like, not where I come from, because I've always been quite grounded, but I just needed something away from music, something away from TV, something away from the industry that just, I could just be myself and be Ollie and be just normal. And so Coggeshall came along. My uncle was the manager there and was the chairman and the co-owner. His friend was the chairman and co-owner. And he just said, do you want to come over and sponsor the team? And I said, yeah. And he said, look, if you ever want to come and play some games, get yourself fit for Soccer Aid or something, come and play. So I did. I started doing that. Then one thing led to another. And then I ended up becoming the owner of the club, the director of it, which was more than I expected. I just wanted to just be a part of the dressing room again and have a laugh with the lads. And it was honestly 7 years of honestly, some of the most amazing memories of my life. I had such a good time, and the lads that were there treated me like one of their own. I walk in the dressing room and I was just one of the boys, and we had such a laugh. So many crazy things happened, stuff that you can't talk about in the papers. Do you know what I mean? Like, and in the end, obviously, you know, we parted ways, and it was great, and it worked out at the right time, really, because I ended up meeting Amelia anyway, and we've now obviously got married and had a baby, and so I think it was the Coggeshall filled the gap for a period of my life where I really needed it. But I believe everything happens for a reason. Everything I've done in my life, there's a link to it. It's so strange. Like my first car, my first car was a Fiat
Cinquecento.
Cinquecento,
Oh, I love
right?
them.
Where did I buy that from? Auto Trader.
No.
Yes.
Good. Too right.
I saw it advertised in the Auto Trader, then I went and saw it.
Amazing.
So I know it sounds ridiculous, but there's so many things that linked in.
There's
so many things that linked in. I went and signed for Coggeshall Town that ended up being the seed growers, and I worked for the seed company that are in Coggeshall called King Seeds.
Today we're driving a brand new Bentley Continental GT, and very nice too, isn't it? What do you think?
Incredible. Love everything about it.
Did you know that a very special edition Bentley was made to commemorate the Diamond Jubilee and used to transport the late Queen Elizabeth to her first cabinet meeting with David Cameron, and that was listed on Auto Trader for 200 grand.
You're joking me.
I know, right?
Wow. That is a very special Bentley.
And you have a star-studded story about your first Bentley, don't you?
I do. I actually remember I pre-ordered it, and my first ever Bentley, and obviously my first ever nice car. I was on tour with One Direction, and I was touring across America, and I just remember counting down the weeks and days to get home to drive my first ever Bentley.
No.
Bit of a bougie thing to talk about, like pop starry thing, but it was just one of my first things I ever purchased when I come off the show. Like, I thought, I've got to get a nice car, and I've got a Bentley.
Very nice, very nice. Well, you can find thousands of new cars like this one on Auto Trader, where they are ready and available to drive away today. Should we get on with the show?
Let's do it.
What age did you start driving?
I was actually a late burner. I was 21.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I had everything on my doorstep. I was quite lazy, really, and I had really good friends. They used to all drive me around everywhere, and I used to like getting public transport, so I used to jump on the bus to college. And then I broke up with my ex, my first girlfriend, and I just was like, you know what, it's time for me to pass my driving test, and I did. At the age of 21.
Your first car was the Cinquecento, was it?
Fiat, yeah. And I used to always say to any girl that I was dating, they'd be like, what car do you drive? And I'd just go, well, all I'm going to say is it's Ferrari red. And anyone that's listening, if you don't know what a Fiat Cinquecento is, cast your minds back to In-Betweeners, the yellow car that Simon used to drive. That is my car.
Yeah.
I had infinity speakers in the back. I had a Panasonic Bose system. I think it was a Panasonic or a Bose system in the front. It was popping off. I had music blaring. I used to pick all my mates up on nights out. I never used to drink, so it was perfect.
Tell me more about college life.
College life was crazy, but good. Like, I was a bit of a goody two-shoes, really. I didn't get up to that much stuff, but I left school with not very good grades, and I ended up trying to get into sport science and sport recreate. I tried to do something in regards to sport, but actually, it was, I had a good time at college, good fun. Yeah, so you see the roundabout coming up? Mm-hmm. Braintree College is on your right hand side there. God, I haven't been here in years. It's actually bringing back memories now. There's my college, yeah. It's called Braintree Campus now. It's actually Colchester Institute. Maybe it isn't college anymore. But what I used to love was the common room area.
Yeah.
So the common room, it was where like everyone would hang out, and then there was one common room where it was like we'd have like a jukebox and music, and like you should just be able to play whatever you wanted. And I always loved going in because there'd always be these lads that were like the sort of moddy kind of like skater boy kind of vibes.
Yeah.
And they'd all play like the Limp Bizkit and like Korn and System of a Down, and there'd all be like these guys there with their like long hair and their like, grubby trainers, and they're just vibe, like smoking. Then I would just go in straight in there, go to the stick, like 2 or 3 quid in this machine, and it would just be boy band after boy band after boy band, like Westlife, Blue, Take That. I was like, I'm just going to annoy you guys so much, kind of thing I would do, like to the prank people.
Imagine now, you know, you'd be in there putting on Olly Murs.
They would have been like, they probably don't even have it. They're like, oh. We're gonna go to my old school, so just go straight over. There's a double roundabout here.
Doesn't sound like you have any negative vibes from school or.
Some people, don't get me wrong, it weren't perfect. There were some difficult moments. Any kid going through school, there's loads of difficult moments. Like, it weren't all like sunrise. It weren't all smoke, like incredible. It weren't all sunrises. It was. I had some difficult days, like.
Yeah.
And you're going through that whole puberty stage, and yeah, it was a crazy time, but I loved it.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm getting more nervous us pulling into this school than me. Like now, oh my God, I'm actually getting nervous going into the school more than I would be at the O2 in front of 20,000 people.
What?
Like, this is weird. This is mad.
But I would imagine those.
Like, I don't know if it's nerves, it's just like a weird feeling. It's like, wow, this is...
And also, if you were making friends here and having to go through that, that's a big deal.
Notley's cool though, man. I've got nothing but love, nothing but respect and love for, like, the people and the staff, the teachers. Now, at the end of the year, I don't know if they still do it now, kids. They probably do it on social media or something different, but all my teachers had to write something about me in my book and they'd sign it.
Oh, wow.
So I bought this like book from Woolworths, and like I just got everyone to write, like my friends and my school teachers. Now get this, I was 16 when I left school, and I honestly, no joke, I wish I had it here with me now. Every single teacher or friend all said, we're going to miss hearing you singing down the corridors. We can't wait to see you on TV. We wish you all the best in the future. And I was like,
that star appeal.
I was like, what? The teacher would be like, all you used to do was sing in the classroom, going to miss that, and blah, 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 and dancing away. And I'm like, these are things that I was so oblivious to.
Yeah. But
actually,
the X Factor.
Actually, there must have been something there, because obviously I ended up going into it. But at that precise moment in my life at 16, 17, I was not thinking about being a pop star.
So we're heading now back to Whitham.
Ooh, back to Whitham.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Is that where you had your panic attack?
The funny thing is, we were just on a road recently. We were on a road earlier today where I did have the panic attack. It wasn't in that house, no. It wasn't where I had a panic attack. Now, what it was, to give you a bit of context to it, I did X Factor, presented the show from 2015 for one season with Caroline, God rest her soul, miss you, Kaz. And it was probably one of the most craziest, mentalist, incredible things I've done, but wow, the scrutiny, the pressure on my shoulders to present the biggest TV show in the country was crazy, right? Now, when I finished that, I needed a break. I was exhausted mentally and physically. I had all sorts going on health-wise. I was like, I need a break from this. Like, I think I ended up getting like glandular fever or something. I was like gone. I was just knackered and tired and just fatigued. Took some break off, went back into music, wrote a new album. And I broke up with my ex at the time, so it was quite a lot going on for me personally and in work related. So I just needed a break. Wrote a new album, everything was great, everything was good. And then I'm driving down the road, and there'd been a few conversations about it, about me doing The Voice. I had a few interviews about it. And then I remember driving back from Braintree to Whitham. My mate Mace was in the car. And got a phone call from my manager saying that, Ollie, you've got the job, they want you, you're starting on The Voice, like, this is so exciting, this is incredible. And I mean, when she said it, I looked around to my mate Mace, and he's going, oh my God, yes! And I was just like, yeah! And like, inside of me, I literally was, my heart was going boom, 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 and I was like, what have I just done? What have I just done? What have I just done? I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. I was like, oh, thanks, Sarah, thanks, like, thank you very much, appreciate it, love you, I'll speak to you later, put the phone down. My mate Mace was just going mental, like, this is incredible, like, you're going to be on The Voice with Will I Am, Jennifer Hudson, like Sir Tom Jones, like, you're going to be like, oh my God, you're going to be a judge, oh, this is crazy, you're going to be a coach, oh my God. I was just not like, I was like, this is the worst news that could have ever happened to me. Oh. And I had a massive panic attack over it. Now, don't get me wrong, people have worse panic attacks than that, and they worry about things that are really not anywhere close to, like, what I went through was nothing compared to what other people go through. But mentally at the time, I was just, it freaked me out. Going back on TV again, was I going to make a mistake? Were the papers going to slag me off? Was I going to be a disgrace? Was people going to say I was useless at it? Because that's all I got when I did X Factor was, you're useless, you're not good, you're not a great presenter, you're not this, you're not that. And I just thought, like, oh my God, I'm just going back into the world that I was in previously, where I just got so much hate. So then that's when, and I've openly spoke about this before, but I openly went and saw a therapist and had some meetings with this lovely lady. Now, I haven't been back since, but I did about 2 or 3 sit-downs. Oh my God, it helped me so much. It helped me out so much. One of the things I learned was how to cope up, sort of mentalize that and understand how I was feeling. And she gave me these techniques on how to understand, to block out, not block out, but like deal with that other voice in your head that's like telling you, you can't do this. Run away. There's the exit. Don't go there. You're happy in life. Everything's great. Why do it?
Yeah.
And when that extra voice overpowers the other voice in my head that's like fearless and don't care and let's do this. This is going to be incredible. This is great. That's when it got scary for me. But then when I figured it out, that's what changed everything. And I ended up doing The Voice, and I sat in the red chair and I was petrified the first day. And I was like, do you know what? You have to do this. You need to jump back in the saddle. You need to just get on with it. And what we will be, you're great at what you do. You're really good on TV. You've got it. You've got this, Ollie. You've got this. You know, you do what you do best. Entertain people, have some fun, be cheeky, and just have a good time. And I did. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I loved it. I did it for 7 years. And it was what I needed. Brilliant.
Wow.
So, you know, listen, so many other people go through much more serious mental health issues, and I've had, you know, panic attacks, and it's all relative to each person, isn't it? That's what we say, and it is. Like, that was my issue, and there's been loads of other things that have happened in my life, but that was the one thing that I think you're referring to. That was the moment for me. It was difficult, was weird. First time in my life I ever was like, why am I not happy in this moment? But I think when you go and see someone and you talk to someone you don't know, but you decompress them thoughts and you put them out there to the universe, you talk about it, and then that person analyzes it, understands it, talks to you on a level, and you're like, wow, I never looked at it like that before. I'm only looking at it in one instinct of petrified. I hated it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. Then when you get the other side of it, the other perspective, you're like, oh, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought, or maybe there is ways of dealing with this, and it was.
Good for you for breaking the silence.
Yeah, and I'd recommend it to anyone. I wanted to talk about it because I felt that there's men out there that wouldn't talk about it. And you know what, if I could show people that I'm, this cheeky fun guy you see on TV that almost has a carefree lifestyle, doesn't really care about things. I do. Yeah. And I do care about things, and I do struggle sometimes. I've had some really tough times in my life. But if I can help one person in this interview, or in any interview I do when I do talk about it, that they go, do you know what? Something at work's really triggered me recently, something that I'm really struggling with, I got offered a new job and I didn't want to do it. Because that's what it comes down to. Forget it was The Voice, forget who I am, forget me and who I am. If this was just me talking to a friend down the pub, oh my God, like, I've just been offered this new job, it's paying this much, it's going to be incredible, but I actually don't want to do it now. But why?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm scared. Why are you scared? Because, I don't know, like, but you
might not be good enough.
You might not be good enough. I'm not going to be good enough. What do you mean you don't want to be good enough? You're brilliant at it. That's what you've been doing all your life. If your friend or your family member or someone around you can't help you understand that, go and see someone. Because I tell you what, it massively helped me. Love how we're driving around.
I know.
Essex, my local town.
In a Bentley.
And they're all like, that's definitely Olly Murs. State of this guy thinks he's big time Charlie. This is what I try not to do when I drive around with him.
What sort of places, or what did you do in Whitham? Did you work in...
Yep, worked in various places. My best job I had was as a recruitment consultant. I worked for Prime Appointments.
What do they do?
They specialise in recruitment, so they specialise in getting people jobs. So whether that be in office or industrial jobs.
But through all this time then, were you still pub singing?
Yeah. So I actually sung at one of their Christmas parties.
Oh, right.
I was in a band at the time called the Small Town Blaggers, and which was a name that I come up with just because I loved the Libertines.
Yes.
And there was a song called the Small Town Blaggers, and I really liked the title name, so I nicked it. So I got paid the night of our Christmas party, which was sick, but then it got all the chance for the office to see me perform, and they thought I was brilliant. They loved me.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I worked in Prime Appointments. I worked in Kitchens Direct as well, which was great. That was my first proper job, really, at the age of 16, selling kitchens for 3 years. They're just based in the town centre. I don't even know if they're there anymore. We're in Whitham. This is the high street. And honestly, in the film Wizard of Oz, Dorothy said it perfectly. There is no place like home.
Yeah.
And I promise you now, I have travelled the world. I've been to some incredible places. But something about being in Whitham, and it wouldn't be for everyone. Like, as in, if I went to maybe I went and lived in your town, it wouldn't be for me. There's something about Whitham that draws me back every time. I love it. I absolutely love it.
This is a nice looking high street.
That's where Prime Appointments used to be.
Lovely building.
Prime Appointments used to be there. We lived right next door to Wetherspoon, so it was great.
Oh yeah, very useful.
But that is where we used to be. And we'd all park our cars in here. Well, I wasn't driving, but everyone would park their cars in here, and we'd all just congregate outside waiting for our shift to start. Used to do 10 till 1, 2 till 5, and then 6 till 9. We used to pick our rota.
So, but a far cry from your career in TV. Tell us more about that.
Crazy. Well, just lucky.
What age were you then when you made that choice?
Well, I was working in Prime Appointments, and I decided to go travelling. So I went to Australia for
kangaroo.
three months. 2008, went travelling for 3 months, and it was the most amazing experience. And I recommend anyone listening that might think about doing it. Travelling was one of the best experiences I've ever had. It changed my life. It gave me a chance to be independent and be away from my parents and to get some real life skills. And I just decided to come back and do X Factor. And I took a whim. I did it a couple of times before that and failed because I was in a band and stuff. And I thought, right, you know what? I'll do it this time and see what happens. So I did it, and it changed my life, yeah.
Was it amazing?
X Factor. When we talked earlier about people always say that, could you hear that? If you could do anything again in your life, like experience something, like I know when people say, I'd love to go back to school again and live them school years. Mine would be X Factor again. I would do that again. If you said to me, Ollie, we're going to go back tomorrow and do it again, I would be all over it. It would be the best thing to do. If Marty McFly was here now, and Doc,
what do you feel like you liked most
in their DeLorean,
about it?
and then said to me, Murs, we can go back in time, I'd be like, right, take me back to X Factor 2009.
What did you like most about it?
I just loved the thrill of it. I was on the cusp of changing my life, and on the cusp of something really special and something unique that no one in Whitham or anyone in my life, my family or my friends had ever experienced before. It was something like just extraordinary.
Yeah.
Out of the ordinary. Like a guy from Essex, from Whitham, that lived on a council estate that you've just seen today, that ends up being on the biggest TV show in the country. And then every week, it just got more and more like enjoyable, more and more exciting, more and more like, oh my God, this is actually, oh my God, I'm actually gonna be like, I might even get a record deal. Like I might even have an album. I might even like, what's going on here? And then the reality of the show finishing, and then all of a sudden, like everywhere I went, people knew who I was. It was crazy. And then there's days and months where sometimes I look back on that experience of X Factor and go, cool, like, what if that didn't happen?
Yeah.
And sometimes there's part of me that goes, oh, do you know what? Sometimes when I'm out with Amelia and the last thing I want to do is be noticed.
Yeah.
Or if I'm out with Maddie now, I'm walking her and people go, Ollie, can I get a photo? which, don't get me wrong, I love getting people asking me, and there'll be a day when no one asks me and I'll be fuming, like, why is people not recognising me? Because you have got an ego and you do want and someone always said to me, you'll be annoyed when people stop asking, because you'll know then your career's over. And I was like, do you know what, you're not far wrong. So I embrace it. But there's moments where I just want to be me and be away from the limelight. But that experience, that thrill, it was a roller coaster of emotions. It was a roller coaster of my life. I'll never, ever, ever get close to that experience ever again. And I loved it. And you've just secretly lured me into telling you about my life, and now you are actually at my old house, Caraways. So this is where my mum and dad moved us to, from Pitt Avenue to Caraways.
Oh, nice.
So this whole area was like, oh my God, we're living in a brand new house.
Okay.
I have not been back here since my mum and dad moved out.
No way.
I wasn't even here on the day they moved out. And I just wanted to remember the house as it was, because it was the big part of our lives that time.
Well, this looks like a much
This is more modern. These houses got built in in the late 90s, early 2000s.
How does it feel?
Oh my God, it feels weird. Yeah, it's amazing. Like, it's a beautiful house.
Weird,
great.
good.
Yeah, great memories. We had great Christmases there. That was probably the thing I missed the most, is Christmas.
Really?
When you move house, everyone that's experienced it and you've moved house, and you have them Christmases together, you know what I mean? Like, them real special moments. Like, when I finished, obviously before X Factor, I had amazing Christmases there. And when I come back off X Factor, this whole street, like, all people came to greet me home, and then even my first Christmas here was crazy. People knocking on the door Christmas Day, like, to get photos with me and stuff. But just after that, every Christmas was just like, I'm coming home. And it just was, I don't think my family and my sister and everyone else could appreciate that from my perspective. My mum and dad needed to move, and they found another house, and they needed to change their life, which is fine. Everyone needs a different change, don't they? And something new. But for me, like, it was like my little, I don't know, like my little like safe haven, like my little pocket of the past. And then when that went, it was like, oh man, like, that was kind of it then. That was kind of the end of my sort of the sort of past of my childhood had gone.
Yeah, you look quite emotional telling.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, because it really hurt me. I was gutted, but I knew my parents needed to move home, and, like, you know, they didn't need a bigger house anymore. Life moves on. You change, don't you? Everyone moves, and, you know, I've just, you know, me and Amelia have just left a home that we've been living in for 5 years. So, you know, you end up changing. It is what it is.
And we're back here where it all began.
Back to Whitham.
So what is the future for Olly Murs?
To be, honestly, it's going to sound so cheesy and you're going to laugh. Maybe not laugh, but I just want to be the best husband and the best dad. And whatever comes with that, whatever else comes with that, with work, amazing, I embrace it. But I'm now at a point in my life where I'm now a dad, and I'm a husband, and I've got a beautiful wife and kid. I just want to provide for them, give them the best life, be present, be there. In, like, having a baby particularly, you've got to work together, and we're just such an incredible team. We're just brilliant, and, like, I love her so much. So Amelia and the baby are literally the priority of my life.
How will your career evolve, do you think, now?
Don't know. I've got no fear of the unknown. I have no idea. I've got amazing music career. I'll always do that. Is there other opportunities? 100%. What they will be, I have no idea. Just, life's great, man. And I know it's been difficult for everyone. Life's crazy. So much happening in the world, politics, wars. You know, just, if you can, just try and live in the present with the people around you that you love. They're the most important people, and just try and be there for them. That's what I'd say. Don't worry about all the outside noise.
Olly, I've loved this present moment.
It has been amazing. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for your
Thanks,
honesty,
Alex.
Your humour. Thank you for
that.
the snacks that you're going to leave me.
Oh no,
because you're on a fast. Remember?
Well, yeah, I am, but I could take one. Maybe I could take the bananas. Strips and bananas. No, I'm leaving you.
Right, go on then. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Adios, amigos.
Ciao.
If I don't see you through a window, I'll see you through a door. Is that it?
Thanks, Olly. That was an absolute joy. Olly's so down to earth, isn't he? And absolutely absolutely hilarious. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Show on the Road is a fresh air production for Auto Trader. If you think others will enjoy this episode too, please help us spread the word. Leave a quick rating in your podcast app and a nice little comment. It really helps. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, where there's exclusive footage of this and all the drives we're doing this series. It sounds like Olly's had a lot of car adventures, doesn't it? Well, choosing the vehicle you're going to start your next story in couldn't be easier on Auto Trader. With thousands of brand new cars available and ready to drive away, it's easy to find your next car on Auto Trader. We've even got expert reviews and videos to help you find the perfect fit. Find your next car and start your next story on the Auto Trader app or at autotrader.co.uk. In our next episode, we'll be guided around the neighbourhood of a man who's single-handedly making science one of the coolest things you could be into. Until then, see ya.